Let's have a little scrap chat about Project Life, which is my annual scrapbook that I document all my small weekly stories in. I want to show you guys a bit about what style I'm currently working in and what has worked for me in the past. I am trying to work in this right now for Project Life. You'll see that I have a little bit of a different style going on here. What I really like about this format is that I can do any grid layout that I want and customize all of the different sizes of the photos that are going to go into my weekly spread. And another thing that I've been really liking about this style is that when I have bigger stories, I can also mix in some traditional scrapbook spreads. For example, this one, you can kind of toss in these bigger stories, but then what my plan is to have one single-sided 12 by 12 sheet like this for each week in Project Life. The pages in this album are awesome because they're already on this thick white cardstock kind of paper. So what I can actually do is just print my photos without a border and have the white kind of show through to create a border throughout the entire spread. So that 12 by 12 that I was just showing you, I feel like it's not a super common type of spread for Project Life, and what you're probably seeing more often online are various formats like this, which have pocket pages. You can see that these albums get pretty large, and you need at least 2 or 3 of them usually to get through the year, depending on what size album that you're doing. So when I've been working recently in a 10 by 8 album, this is one from Ali Edwards. For this, I'm guessing I would need 2 to 3 per year, and I'll show you a little bit about what these kind of spreads look like. So this is one of the pages in my 10 by 8 album, and it does use these kind of traditional plastic pocket pages. One of the reasons I really wanted to try 10 by 8 was so that I could have these full page photo enlargements and a different variety of page sizes within my scrapbook. I'd say that the 10 by 8 size is still kind of growing in popularity. I think Ali Edwards is the only company that sells it, and she's been using it personally in her project in the last, I think, year or two. So we've really been seeing that one grow. But I want to show you a little bit also about some of the sizes you've probably seen more traditionally. So all last year, 2025, I used 9 by 12 albums, and this is my entire year in 2 albums. So you can see these are still pretty large and they're taking up a lot of space. One of my kind of cons, I guess, of these pocket or binder ring style albums is just that they do take up a lot of space, and I have some kind of pet peeve about them taking up multiple albums for 1 year. I'm trying to currently find a solution which only has 1 album per year. I don't know if we'll get there, but I'll talk a little bit about why I think I might get there in my 12 by 12 later on in this video. So this one has some pretty traditional formats. So this is a page protector that has a variety of 4 by 6 and 3 by 4 slots. The size is really great, especially for weekly. I liked this one because I found it had enough room for me to actually get all of my photos from the week into one spread. I would usually do 1 double-sided spread per week, so 2 of these pages is 1 week in these albums for me. This is just a top-down view of what 1 week in this size looked like. Definitely room for a lot of photos in the 9 by 12. And then in 2024, this is actually my first year that I tried Project Life. I was working also in a 12 by 12, but this one is a binder style 12 by 12 as well. I only started this in August of that year just to try the hobby for the first time, so I don't have 2 albums, but I think I definitely would have needed 2 albums if I would have kept on the whole year in this size. When I go to review this album, the main thing that I feel is just that this is a humongous mega album, as you can kind of see. I think because of the binder mechanism, there's so much extra room on the sides of the albums when you're actually looking at it that it takes up so much space just to make room for that binder mechanism in this size with the pocket pages. I'm going to give you a top-down view of what this one looks like. So when I was working in this style, I was also doing a double page spread for 1 week. So you can see that all of these stories are per week. It's pretty large. It's a lot to kind of take in. If I place my new 12 by 12 album there right on top and open it up, you can just see how much extra room is needed when you have the binder instead of something like this. When it comes to Project Life, I love a grid. I love that I can have all of these different photo sizes, 4 by 6, 3 by 4, even 2 by 2 in some albums. And I really loved when I was working in pocket pages how I could basically just look at a page, print all my photos, and quickly slot in all of my different photos and cards, and I could keep up with it really easily on a weekly basis. When I switched to 10x8 and I was creating layouts that had different size pocket pages, I was sewing different things together, I was doing all those full page enlargements, I really loved the creative freedom that this album gave me, but what I found is that I'm getting extremely behind. So I don't have the same like quick and easy routine of just doing my weekly photos, printing them off, and getting them in. I think for me, I'm starting to realize that maybe this is a better fit for me when I'm doing like a travel album or a specialty project like December Daily. And I think I need a quicker and easier structure to do when it comes to my weekly storytelling. I also tend to get a little bit bored, and like we're all creative people, we love to try different layouts. If I'm going for all these different page sizes, then I'm also buying stacks and stacks of different size page protectors, different configurations to have different amounts of photos on each page, and then you're trying to match those up to the stories that you're actually trying to tell that week. So it's a little complicated. Not really complicated, but you know, let's say you did this on this side and on the back side you didn't want this same configuration. That's one of the things that you're kind of stuck into when you do use pocket pages. All of that brings me back to kind of my final notes, I guess, on why I think this size might stick and why I think this layout setup might work best for me. So with these 12x12 Creative Memories albums, like I mentioned, they have these kind of base white cardstock pages. So instead of a pocket page, you're working on these white pages. They do have a strap system. Let's see if you can kind of see it here. And these pages come separately. So you can basically use the strap system that's at the back of the album, and you can add and reorder basically as many pages as you want. So one pack comes with 16 of these for 32 sides. And if I was doing Project Life, I could fit 2 packs of these in here. So I would be at 64 different single page spreads for the year, which is enough for me to make 52 single page weekly layouts and also have enough room to add in some of these like specialty big story pages as well. I'm really excited about the idea that potentially all of my year stories could be in one album with 2 packs. And these are really awesome. They have this removable and expandable spine. So I do think that all of my stories could get into this one album, which is a big goal of mine. I also really want to talk a bit about the grid and the layout. So I kind of showed this earlier, but this is one grid that I came up with. Originally, it's got 4x6s, it's got 2x2s, it's got 3x4s, kind of all of the regular sizes you would expect to see in a Project Life spread. But what's really cool about this is that on the back side of all of these, you've got a white canvas again. So I can mix and match the different grids that I make every week. Some of them might be really simple with just 4x6s and 3x4s. Some of them where I'm trying to get in more photos for a spread, I could just, you know, include some of these smaller sizes to fit more photos and make more of a custom grid. I'm really excited to see how different each layout in here looks as I actually go through and make each week's spread. You've definitely still got room to embellish and do all of the regular things you would like to see in Project Life. I'm printing my journaling, but you could also handwrite. I'm just really overall excited to work on this album, and I'll be definitely keeping you guys posted about how I feel about this as I work on it. I'm just starting it this month in June. I've got 1 week down, I'm caught up in this. I'm still going to be working on catching up on my backlog on my 10x8 album, so I can have a full year between this one, which has the first half of my year, and this one, which will be the second half of my year. If this goes well and I like the freedom that the 12x12 white pages are giving me, then I hope to do this again next year too in 2027, and we'll see that one big album for the year. Thanks for hanging out with me. Such a fun time to just chat albums and sizes and projects. I love to hear in the comments below what you've been doing with your album and how you handle your different annual projects, whether you're doing monthly layouts, weekly layouts, or some different combination that maybe we don't see as much. I hope this provides you some inspiration because this is something I haven't seen a lot in the Project Life community. So happy scrapbooking, and I'll chat with you guys soon. Bye!